Hello everyone and welcome to the post-event casting for the WhatCD Starcraft II Open. My name is NBadDog, also known as Brainwash. Here today I have a very special treat for you, a Protoss versus Zerg, again on an MLG map. And it looks like we do have Xel'Naga Caverns. Sorry, briefly forgot what map we're on. We do have the Protoss player, PeanutButter, also known as OSA-RTY, spawning as the orange Protoss down here on the southern hand side. And up in the top, we do have the purple Zerg player, Boris, also known on the forums as Expotab13. I will be using Boris because Expotab is a very complicated name to say. It takes me way too long. And we did have a very convincing win from Boris with quite a bit of ling pressure going on, even though of course PeanutButter did manage to take out Boris's first expansion very early on and with some early zealot pressure. I haven't peeked into these games, so I have no idea how long they are going to take and what kind of playstyles we are looking at. And so we do have a probe moving out across the map. He is going to be scouting Boris's base right away. We do have a spawning pool going down before extractor or first base, unlike last time where we did have the natural expansion go down right away. And let's take a look at that production tab. Of course, right now we will be having mostly probes being built. Ooh, it looks like the drones try and surround the probes, but don't manage to get the surround off. Probe manages to escape with his life. That is one very lucky probe. Down to 10 health. And here we have RTY with a wall in, starting with a gateway at the front, probably looking to put a cybernetics core down beside that. Oh no, he's looking for a second gateway. That is a very wide gap there, but he will be able to block that off with some zealots, looking for some early 2-gate pressure coming down from RTY here. We do have an overlord moving out across the map incredibly slowly. It has just managed to clear the central cavern. It will take forever for that to get there. And we do have a probe here on the Xel'Naga tower, managing to keep an eye on what the Zerg player is doing when he's going to move out. We do have a queen coming up here and expect to see a natural expansion come down fairly soon from the Zerg player Boris. Still moving out across, we do have a zealot being chrono boosted out. He knows he needs to complete that wall in as quickly as possible, as well as a double assimilator coming up for the Protoss player. That double assimilator probably means we are looking for some tech play from the Protoss, possibly some early stalker pressure as well, or maybe a double forge, possibly even a fast expansion. Fast expansion would certainly be my personal choice against some Zerg players here, but of course I am only mid-rank gold, and we do have platinum players here today, so their decision making is probably far better than mine. The Overlord does turn back, having scouted where the Protoss is, probably going to keep that Overlord safe in case there's a Stalker or an early Sentry out on the field. We are looking for 2 Zealots coming out early though, no Stalker, no Sentry, and a Cybernetics core is just coming down now, so that is not even an option for the Protoss player. And back up in the Zerg base, we do have the first Queen out, as well as Speed on the way from the spawning pool. Still no signs of grabbing that first expansion though from the Zerg player. I wonder if that's a bit of a mistake on his part, hopefully trying to go for some early 1-base pressure with Lings again. I think that because RTY has walled himself in better this time and won't be risking the initial expansion quite as quickly, as long as this Zealot does not get us surrounded, of course. Oh, and we do have a Baneling nest coming down, but to counter this we do have a Stargate coming up for the Protoss player. Of course, always a nice counter to that. Stargate is coming down in the back of the base. That'll be very hard to scout. Baneling bust will be very valid against this wall in here, but with multiple zealots and a sentry to back that up, I can't imagine it doing too much damage or to get a surround off on these zealots. And there we go, takes a chop at the Lings, doesn't want to get surrounded himself. Warp gates are being chrono boosted out. Still only 2 gateways down on the ground for the Protoss player. And what do we have up in? We have a lot of idle larvae here. That is not looking too good for Boris. He needs to be doing something with those larvae. He's looking to mass up Lings, possibly saving some gas for an early Baneling bust. What have we got going on here? Where are the Banelings? We've got 4 Banelings so far on the field, and let's take a look. Yes, that is the total number of Banelings. 18 Zerglings, 1 Stalker, 2 Zealots. And we do have a Void Ray. Looks like the Void Ray is being chrono boosted out. Definitely a very valid option against the Zerglings. And here come the Zerglings moving in. Banelings coming in first, of course. Let's take a look at that production tab. Nothing being produced. Oh, and there we go. The Zealot takes all of the Banelings himself. The Zealot is down to 13 health, but they will certainly not be able to break through this wall. Definitely not with Stalker support. The Zealot is getting hacked down, though. He will need to put in something behind. And there we go. The Stalker comes in behind in order to support the Zealot. It will take the Lings forever to come through there. And the Lings are taking phenomenal losses there. Let's take a look at the units lost tab. Definitely the Zerg player is taking taking the brunt of the losses here. And there we go, a sentry out just in time in order to complete the wall in with a force field. Starker will, of course, be completing. And there we go, there is a gap. The Zerglings do have rain into the base. They can get in. Will they try and get into the mineral line? There we go. They should be trying to focus down into the mineral line, not taking out the Zealots here. And there we go, they're moving into the mineral line. They can do some probe damage here. There we go, the Zerg player is catching up with the damage done. Still nothing being produced. Of course, he does have the Baneling Nest, so this is expensive to fund, all off of one base. So we do have more Zerglings being rallied in. It looks like they are being rallied to just outside of the Protoss base. He does have a surround on those 2 Zealots right there. More Zealots warping in. We do have an early Phoenix out. Not sure if Phoenix is the best choice. Where's that Void Ray on the field? There we go. There's the Void Ray. He needs to bring the Void Ray back into a defensive position. We do have enough Zealots right now to deal with this incoming lane pressure, though I would like to see him do more of a wall off. Complete that wall off at least with a pylon. We do have a huge number of Banelings. If these Banelings are getting into the mineral line, that could be devastating. You have the Void Ray coming down over the top, though, doing a lot of damage to those Banelings. Banelings aren't managing to connect with too many of the Zealots, so he does manage to take out the last of the Zealots, and there we go. The Void Ray finishes off the Ling, so we do have more Ling pressure continuing across the map. Looking at those resources lost tab, though, the Zerg player is 500 resources behind. That is not a good position to be, certainly since he is still on one base. Taking a look at the units tab, 12 Zerglings, 1 Queen, 16 Zerglings, 4 more must have just spawned in versus 2 Zealots, 2 Void Rays, and a Phoenix. Those 2 Void Rays will be able to put on a lot of pressure, and there we go, the Lings are retreating back to the Zerg base. He needs to get, there we go, an Evolution Chamber down so he can put up some Spore Crawlers. He may be a little bit late on these Spore Crawlers, though it looks like they will be able to finish before the Void Rays make their way across the map. Possibly be able to snipe a few Overlords. That would be huge for the Protoss player. Supply blocking. And there we go. The Queen has been picked up. Will the Queen be able to be sniped before it comes down? And the Spore Crawler is too far away. So the Queen. And there we go. And the Queen goes down. Both Void Rays still up, of course. And working their way through this Queen as well. There we go. Pick up from the Phoenix. Queen's going to go down possibly before the Phoenix even drops it. And there we go. Down it goes. And here comes the second Phoenix. And it looks like the Zerg player has decided that a base race is the only option with 18 Zerglings streaming across the map. Though he does have 4 Zealots here walling that off. And there we go. The Zerglings do retreat. The Zerglings are indecisive. They don't know what to do. The hatchery is being sniped. This looks like it will be the end for Boris here. He does not have enough resources to expand if he needs to. Quickly trying to gather those 400 resources. I wonder if it was a big mistake not expanding early in this game. And there's the GG. Excellent game, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. See you again for Game 3.